Hey guys, welcome back. So as we approach the end of a pretty insane month in January, I'm going to talk to you guys about how my portfolio has performed for this month. So we'll include the companies that paid me, how much I made altogether, how that compares to last year and the few years before that, and ultimately what my goals are when it comes to dividend investing for this entire year. But of course, before we get started, make sure you guys leave a comment below. Let me know how much have you made or are anticipating to make in passive income for this month, and what are your dividend investing goals for this year? Definitely love to read it and hear about it. Alright, so here are the 15 dividend checks that I received for the month of January. First off, we have Nike with $1.16, then HP with 98 cents, $2.40 from Best Buy, $5.11 from QYOD, which happens to be the biggest check from this month. I guess it was like a special dividend. I'm gonna have to look more into it, but I'm not sure why it was so high for this month. Anyway, we had $2.85 from PG Properties, $2.31 from Altria, $2.37 from Realty Income, $1.36 from Main Street Capital, 71 cents from Stack Industrial, 42 cents from TFI International, $1.07 from Disney. I believe that's like their one annual payment, so it's still really cool to get something from them. $1.27 from Digital Realty Trust, 92 cents from SPHD, $2.89 from QYLD yet again, and then to end it all off, $2.39 from Rhythm Capital. So that puts my January total at $28.21. And normally this is the part where I would tell you what I'm averaging and what my running total is, but it's the month of January, so they're all $28.21. So not a bad start. What I can do is compare how it looked to last January, which is actually really cool to see. So in comparison to January 2024, I was paid $7.41 more this year, about a 35.6% increase. And my average so far, still really early, is 59 cents more than last year. So I really just hope it continues. So as I've said before, someone whose budget is pretty low in comparison to a lot of other people, especially a lot of other finance dividend investing YouTubers out there, I have to continue to find myself motivated into consistently investing into the stock market. And the two biggest things that keep me motivated are comparing what I have now to the past and getting an idea of what I can have in the future. So with that, I like to use trackerdividend.com to track my Robinhood portfolio when it comes to dividends and see based off where I'm at now, where I can be in the next 5, 10 to 15 years. So if we assume I actually stop investing $30 a week and I just rely on the dividends, and I assume that my portfolio is going to grow about 8% every year, which is actually the average that my portfolio has grown in the making of this video, that at this point my portfolio would generate about $375 per year. But then 5 years from now, I'm looking at $552 per year. 10 years from now, I'm looking at $826 per year. And 15 years from now, I'm looking at $1,229 per year. 15 years, that would put me in my late 40s and making over $1,200 a year in passive income. That's not bad at all, but it gets a lot different if I just add a simple $30 every single week, with everything else being the same. Adding $30 a week would make my 5-year total instead $744 per year dividends. 10 years will put me at $1,292, and in 15 years I'm looking at $2,086. So that alone in 15 years would have me making $857 more annually in dividends than 15 years without investing $30 every single week. On top of that, if I invest $30 every single week from this point on, by year 10, I'll be making more in annual dividends than I would in year 15 if I stopped investing $30 a week. And of course, one of my goals is to eventually be able to budget enough to where I can increase my investments every single week to $40, maybe even $50, but we'll see what happens. Speaking of which, the goal for me when it comes to dividend investing for 2025 is pretty simple. It's just to continue to pay attention to dividend stocks and ETFs that have a long-term history of share price growth and a long-term history of dividend growth. Now, I definitely understand that a lot of those positions may have very low dividend yields. Of course, I'm still going to invest into those high yield positions like your Main Street Capital, your Realty Income, your REIT Properties, but me paying attention to those other huge stocks with long-term growth histories in both dividends and share price are probably going to have low yields, so it's going to affect my dividend yield in the short term, but I'm confident that the yield to cost behind it will be more beneficial in the long term. And there are many different metrics out there that a lot of investors can definitely look at, but if you're a beginner investor, it can get a little overwhelming on what to look at to try to make sure that your small amount of money is working as hard as it can for you, especially when it comes to passive income. But I actually talk about in this video 4 metrics that are really easy to track and hopefully fairly easy to understand on why that particular stock or ETF can be beneficial for your small budget in the long term when it comes to passive income. So hopefully you guys get some time to check that out. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and until next time, as always, take care.